Wisconsin Republicans in Madison proposing a new law to legalize medical marijuana, plus the potential for tax cuts this year. CBS 58's Emilee Fannon, WisPolitics editor J.R. Ross discuss in tonight's Capital Connection.
This week, we begin with a new bill proposed by Assembly Republicans that would legalize medical marijuana right here in the Badger State. Now, if it was implemented, JR, it would be one of the most restrictive programs in the country, and here's why. It's because it would limit to about 15 conditions, and it would be for people who have chronic pain, like severe diseases like cancer. It would also only legalize non-smokable products, so we're talking about gummies, pills, tinctures, those types of things. And also, the one big criticism that we've heard from a lot of Republicans is that the state would run 5 regional dispensaries. And now we're hearing that while there's some excitement among Assembly Republicans for this bill, it's unlikely to pass the Senate as of right now.
Well, there are several red flags. One, as you mentioned, Emilee, Senate Majority Leader, has said the dispensary system is a non-starter for his caucus. Basically, you're having 5 state-run facilities, and for Republicans, that's growing government. That's a problem. Red flag number 2. Mary Felskowski, Republican from Irma up in northern Wisconsin, has been the leading proponent of medical marijuana among Republicans for several years now. She had a hearing on a bill last session. She's not a co-sponsor. In fact, there's no Senate co-author. Why is that important? You have to have the same bill go through both houses in the same form. Without a Senate co-author, you have nobody to shepherd the bill through that process, but to advocate for it. Felskowski's issue, the dispensary system. She wants private sector as well. So in talking to people this week, the question was, is this an honest effort by Robin Vos to get something done, or is it political? The political angle is Republicans struggled on a couple issues with voters in the last couple of statewide elections. Abortion is one of them, obviously. Marijuana is a second. They are not going to do full legalization. Medical marijuana is a dipping the toe in the pot pool, if you will, for Republicans trying to kind of make progress on that issue. If this doesn't pass, at least Vos can say and his members, we tried. We did something, we tried this bill, it didn't work, it's all in the Senate Republicans. The second question is this a bargaining tactic? Is this maybe a good faith effort, but trying to see what the Senate could come up with to counter what Ross has proposed?
And we heard Governor Evers in the past, he even told me a few weeks ago that he would sign a very restrictive medical marijuana bill, but he hasn't commented about this specific proposal. And he was a little bit lukewarm to the idea when he commented on a statement saying, I look forward to see where this bill goes, but unless changes are made right now, it's really uncertain on the path of where this goes from here. Now let's move on to tax cuts, because we also heard from Senate Majority Leader Emilee this week that he is looking to propose a new middle income tax cut. And he would do that, it would target about families who earn roughly about $200,000. Now, we have minimal details about this plan, but what he told reporters this week is that he wants to expand the second income tax bracket to cover more taxpayers in a sense. And it would be about a $1 billion tax cut each year. Now, those are really all the details we have right now. We know he's working with Senator Howard Markline on this proposal. And, you know, he pitched this as somewhat of a compromise and hopes to get Governor Tony Evers on board, who wants to see targeted tax cuts towards the middle class. So
it's election year, and there's about $4 billion sitting in the state's general checking account. So typically, lawmakers want to either tax cuts or spend it, for on the campaign trail. Basically, we're hearing one of many ideas we're going to hear in the next 6 weeks about how to address this money. Now, Governor Evers has said several times he's wary of big tax cuts because we have no budget coming in 2025, which seems like a long way away, but that pot of money is the foundation for that next budget. He's worried about revenue growth. He'll have enough money to cover all the things he wants to do. And oh, by the way, we're going to lose about $400 million of that $4 billion for building projects as part of the package that Vos did with University of Wisconsin system to curtail DEI. So it's a lot of money still, but there are demands on it. And what I'm wondering is with this tax cut, does it get legs? Does a smaller tax cut get precedence? Where is the governor going to be? Because with a lot of demands this money, and it's just sitting there waiting for somebody to do something with it. The question is, do it now or next year?
And talking about both those big issues, medical marijuana, tax cuts, the clock is ticking in a sense, because next week the Assembly is on the floor, but they're trying to wrap up this legislative session fairly quickly. We heard from Assembly Speaker Robin Vos. He wants to get everything done by the end of February. We're uncertain about the Senate. So in a sense, yes, there's a lot of things they want to get done, but will they? Yeah,
the Senate probably mid-March, but go back to medical marijuana. It underscores the challenge to pass something. You have basically less than 6 weeks and before the Senate Assembly is done to get a compromise. Remember, the same bill, both houses, same form. That's not a lot of time on a big issue like that to reach a compromise.
All right, that will do it for this week. Thanks so much for joining us.